Well, hey everybody, welcome back to Grandma's Corner, where I've been making videos for fun, for you, for the world, to keep me sane and to learn a few things that I didn't even know because I am doing so much investigative work on so many topics, my head is about to explode. Today, I would like to share with you this really great recipe that I came across a while ago, and it is homemade granola. I've made this a couple of times and I love it. And it's so easy to make. You know, you can buy granola in the store, but sometimes you just don't know what some of the hidden ingredients are. So I like to know what's going in my food. So this batch here will make about 6 cups. You can double it if you have a big family. You can have it if you don't have many to eat. So today I'm going to put this one in half. So I'm going to have to cheat a little bit and look at the ingredients. So please bear with me while my eyes stroll. Well, what do we do first? Well, first of all, I have to tell you, I came up with this ingenious way of videotaping myself. I found a tripod, I found an old Jello box from one of my videos, put a slit into it, put a nut at the bottom, screwed it in, and I have to tell you, I am pretty darn proud of myself. Engineering must be in my background. Oh yeah, Daddy-O, you were a mechanical and electrical engineer. So thank you for the DNA. And I want to put a little shout out to a very dear friend of mine who brought these beautiful earrings back from the Middle East. So thank you, Rochelle. All right, let's get down to this because I am pretty excited. I went ahead and I put all of the dry ingredients together, but we're going to go step by step so you know exactly what I put in this bowl. First of all, oatmeal. You're going to need 4.5 cups of oatmeal. Now this could be the instant oatmeal or it could be the 3-minute cook oatmeal. It just needs to be dry. Don't prepare it. All right, get that in there. Next, you're going to need 1/2 cup of brown sugar. I like the dark brown sugar because it has more molasses in it and more flavor. Then you're going to need either wheat germ or wheat bran. Yeah, you're gonna get a little fiber in, folks, so get excited. You're going to need 1/2 cup of that. And flaxseed. Oh my gosh, I forgot my flaxseed. Hold on, folks. Don't you just sometimes wonder about your pets? Do they really understand what you're saying? And are they just like kids? They know when you're on the phone and that's exactly when they want to interrupt you? Well, Jagger, true to form, is right on cue. I apologize for him. Anyway, back to my flaxseed and fiber. Yes, flaxseed is a wonderful way to get in some great fiber. The next thing you're going to need are some almonds. Now, I happen to like the almonds that are already dry roasted. If you buy the raw almonds, that's totally fine. I sometimes roast those up. These already are done for you. You don't have to spend the time, but either way is fine. But you are going to want to chop these up because you don't want a big old giant almond getting in your mouth. All right, so I mixed all that up, and those are all the dry ingredients. Now, off to the side in another container, you're going to put in the wet ingredients. That's going to be your water, vanilla, a little bit of salt, which is not wet, but that's where I want the salt to be, the honey, and the oil. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to heat this up just a little bit because the honey that's in here, if you look at my honey, my house is so cold, I could put that upside down and nothing comes out because it has totally solidified. So when I took out the 2 tablespoons of honey that I needed for this batch, it just was one big giant blob. So I've got to make that liquefied. So hold on. Okay, I'm back. I put this in there for about 15 seconds. And that was enough to get my honey nice and melted. Maybe you'll need to do it 20 seconds. Just keep an eye on it. Don't leave it unattended, however, because you'll have honey spurting all over the place. All right, what else do we need? Vanilla. Oh, love that vanilla. You can never get enough vanilla. Vanilla, you're going to need 1.5 teaspoons, and then oil. You know, I'm not crazy about vegetable oils. There's a lot of garbage that goes into veggie oils. So buyer beware. Do a little homework on those. I'm going to go ahead today and I'm going to use some really wonderful walnut oil. You know, the other thing about oils is they can go rancid. So I keep most of my oils that I don't use very often, I keep them in the refrigerator. All right, salt, sea salt. I went ahead and... oh, no, I didn't already. Excuse me. Oh, my gosh, I've got to get my amount in there. All right, so I remember I have this recipe, so I don't need the whole amount. The vanilla, I'm going to go ahead, and I already did put the vanilla in. Now, the only thing I need to add now is the water. So there's my water. It does call for 1/2 cup. I only did a half recipe, so I only put in 1/4 cup. All right, so now I've got all my liquids together. I did turn the oven on to 250 degrees. It's going to take a couple of hours, maybe, well, an hour and a half for this size batch to get all dry up all the liquids. So you're going to have to be around doing something at your house. You just can't leave this. And every 15 minutes, you're going to want to give it a flip-flop so all the sides of it can dry. All right, wet into dry. I'm going to mix this up. And it's not going to be terribly wet, because you don't want it to be soupy, that's for sure. Oh, yeah, that's looking good. Granola, here we come. I hope you're thinking about things you can do with granola other than just eating it out of your hands. Oh, gosh, that's lovely. Oh, that smells so good because of that brown sugar and that vanilla. I love vanilla. Okay, so here's my granola. And I'm going to now put it on I chose a jelly pan because it has sides on it. And in case we have a massive earthquake or something, I want to make sure my granola doesn't go flying everywhere. So I'm going to put that and my parchment. You know how I love parchment paper. It keeps me from having to clean so hard. I'm going to pour that right on top. And I'm going to make sure that that gets spread out everywhere because we want to make sure that as much heat as possible gets on all these little nooks and crannies because we want it to dry. Oh, that smells so good. Now, you know, you can add other things to this recipe. If you like dried fruit, cranberries, maybe pieces of apricot would be lovely. If you have other nuts that you like sunflower seeds, those would be great in here, cashews. You know, be creative. You don't have to just stick to the recipe just because I wrote it. I modify everything I see. And then I take credit for it. How's that? All right. Oh my gosh, that looks really pretty. Look at that granola. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stick it in the oven. And I'm going to go fold laundry and go clean my bathroom and I don't know what else. Pick a few weeds and I'm going to come back every 15 minutes and give it a flip-flop. And after an hour and a half or so, man, you know what I'm going to be doing. All right, come on back. Okay, folks, I'm back because my timer went off after 15 minutes. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this and flip-flop. You can still tell it's kind of damp, which you don't want damp granola. You want it to be nice and dry. So this is why every 15 minutes for an hour or an hour and a half or so, you are going to watch this carefully and make sure you're mixing it up so all of the moisture can get dried out here. Oh my gosh, as I'm walking around the kitchen and the house, I can sure smell how nice this smells. I wish you could have a little smell factor on here. Okay, so there you go. Now I'm going to put it back in the oven And I'm going to get another 15 minutes, so hang in there. Well, I'm back now because now the granola is done drying, and I did discover a little bit of a change that I want to make. So this recipe that I gave you, it did call for about 6 cups of ingredients altogether, and I did originally say about an hour to an hour and a half, but I'm going to change my mind. I did have this recipe, and it took me an hour and a half to get this granola nice and dry, and as you can see, very toasty. You want to be super careful though, because if you go too long, it starts to get that burnt flavor. So this is something you do have to watch. Now I'm going to put this in an airtight container. Remember, I had one of these containers that I used before in my reuse, reduce, recycle, and repurpose. Well, this was mushrooms, and I took off the stickers, and I got them off as best I could, and then I used my Goo Gone recipe, remember that video? And I scrubbed off all the sticky stuff. So this is going to be a perfect container for my granola. So let's go ahead and we're going to put that in here, and I'm going to try my darndest to not spill any for the dog. He'll be here for sure looking for some goodies. All right, let's see if we can do this. Oh my gosh, absolutely perfect. So there you go. Now I've got this wonderful homemade granola that I can store in this airtight container, and I'll have for quite some time. Remember, it doesn't have any preservatives in it, so you want to keep it in a nice airtight container. Alrighty, if there's anything else I can say other than I wish somebody told me about my dirty dishes behind me earlier. Oh my, how embarrassing. Well, you know what? You get what you get. That's what happens when you have a video that's made that is done for free. Well, I hope you subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed this, and get cracking on making your homemade granola, because there are lots of recipes that you can add this to, and you will have a really nice treat. So thanks for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again. Share this video, tell the world, and I would greatly appreciate it. So subscribe away. Ta-ta for now.